Yo, what it do? We are back live again for another episode of this slightly unqualified podcast. Sorry, guys, it's been a crazy one. I've had work, jujitsu, kids going to the doctor. It's been a crazy one. But what is up, you sexy mother lovers? What have you guys been up to?
Not much, just work this week. My weekend starts tonight. So excited. Got a long 3-day weekend. Just gonna kick it, relax, chill with the boys, play as much video games as possible, maybe cook some burgers, eat a whole bunch of food, candy, you know.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, baby. You know what I mean? What about you, Matt? What's on your agenda for this week?
Not much. Just working. Watching Bel Air season 2. Watch. Yeah, it's very good. What else have I watched? I've watched WrestleMania was last weekend. I watched that.
Oh, how was that?
Watched Raw. WrestleMania was good. It was good. I mean, there's a whole thing going on in WWE right now. But anyways, that was pretty good. Watched Mario last night. That was very good.
Hot take it, 30 seconds or less. What you got?
Good movie. Better than I thought it was going to be. And I thought it was going to be good, for the record. The Chris Pratt voice thing, I can't believe it's still a topic, but because it is, let's just get this out of the way right now. After the first 5 minutes of him talking, you don't even care anymore.
Really?
That's good to know.
I'm telling you, it's like it doesn't even faze you whatsoever. And if it does, then you just have a shtick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other than that, really good. Jack Black, man, as Bowser, just there's specific scenes I don't want to give away. That like I walked out of the theater like repeating a certain scene in my mind and like laughing so hard. But Jack Black stole the show. Chris Pratt was really good. Charlie Day was really good. I mean, there wasn't a bad character.
Yeah.
People are complaining about Donkey Kong and like Seth Rogen's voice. I think it's fine. People are just find something to complain about. But other than that, I think it's a pretty perfect Mario movie in my opinion.
Yeah. So I read a comment that said, and like it had like over like 4,000 likes. It was all, "This is a kids movie. Have fun." You know what I mean? And I was like, everybody just like, I was like, oh, maybe just go in there to have fun in a movie theater. No crazy expectations. Just go and enjoy yourself. So I'm taking my kids on Sunday later after finding eggs and stuff like that. I think we're gonna,
eggs.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Good movie. There's 2 post-credit scenes, so save for those. I'm disappointed that there wasn't something in the post-credits that I wanted to see, but I'm also not like too harsh about it. But 2 post-credit scenes.
Disappointed.
What?
You think?
Are we surprised you're disappointed? No.
Oh, I just didn't know that we were talking over each other these days. Mid-sentence, but go ahead, Andrew.
I'm just saying. Not surprised that you're disappointed by something.
So talking about Jack Black, let's kick this door wide open. There's been a lot of Jack Black news with him in Mario, him talking about video game adaptation movies, like him calling for Red Dead Redemption to be made into a movie. I think that would be pretty sweet if they did. But he is in the latest episode of The Mandalorian. And earlier when me and Andrew were talking, I brought up Mandalorian for a split second, and Andrew was ready to throw up or just spew his thoughts. So what's up, Andrew? With this last episode of Mandalorian, what do you think?
I think it does a couple things for me. One, it still makes me, we're going to put our conspiracy theory hats on.
Why?
I still think Kathleen Kennedy is all over this episode. Okay, so let me start. Let me preface it.
Hold on. Spoilers will be hopping up here, guys. So if you haven't seen it, it came out yesterday. All right, so spoilers ahead for Mandalorian episode 6. If you haven't watched it, I would say fast forward like maybe 30 minutes because it's going to be a big topic tonight. So fast forward about 45 minutes ahead, and if not, a little further than that. But spoilers ahead for what's coming in episode 6 of Mandalorian and the whole season. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so to preface, you've had 2 seasons where they have done a really good job of creating a story throughout the entire season.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about
Say
the
again?
first,
Say again?
like there's something within each season has carried from beginning to the end.
Okay.
So like season 1, you have obviously you're establishing the character, but you have this distrust in robots, specifically androids, battle, and that's overcome with the sacrifice of IG-88. Season 2, you have this sense of, is my helmet really who I am, or can I show my emotions by taking this helmet off? Like there's a lot of things within season 2 that pointed to him not wanting to take his helmet off, but then it ultimately led up to him taking off his helmet to say goodbye to Grogu. This third season has just been all over the place. Like I haven't, and maybe there's still time. I'm starting to lose hope now that we're 75% into this.
There's not time.
But go
ahead.
Right, so it doesn't sound like I'm alone on this. But like, what are they doing? Like, it's all over the place. It's we started the season with a filler. Every episode, there's been like snippets of cool things, but it just feels like the amount of good that we're getting is so minuscule in comparison to the other garbage that's just being tacked on. And I'm tired of it. That's my
I second that on every level. I was backing up people talking that BS about Mando. I was like, yeah, first episode, let it go. It's just, it's hooking us back in. Relax. Second episode, it's like, okay. Third, fourth, fifth. I'm like, what are we doing here? I feel like this season's just like, hey,
where's it going?
Yeah, here's a filler episode. You get a filler episode. You get a filler episode. It's like, what? And then they make all this dramatic beef about the saber, and then they're just like, oh, you can have it now. You know what I mean? It's like,
no, that was so bad.
Hold on. To be fair, there was never drama on Din's side. Din is always trying to give it to this. The very first time he got it, he said, just take it. Like, there's no big deal. So there was never any drama on Din's side. It was just on Bo-Katan's side.
Yeah, it was.
That's it. So let's
but
not
it was
make it
such
seem like it was
good,
a big
welcomed drama. It was so welcomed.
It was
just like
it was building kind of like, okay, we have to know that there's a fight coming. When is this fight going to take place? And you're just I
don't know. It's in character for Din to just have an excuse to give it away and then to actually fight for it. That's in Din's character.
I just feel like
it was spot on with what he would find a way to get rid of it the easiest way possible.
I don't disagree with you, but considering the moment that it's handed over, there was a conflict where somebody didn't even end up dying. Like,
wait, what do you mean?
So there was she challenges the other guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they fight. Like for me, like I don't know. Maybe
someone to die. Like
no, you not necessarily need someone to die, but if you're talking about the Mandalorian culture, they're warriors. Like it's usually a little bit more cutthroat than I'm going to put my knife to your neck and you have to yield. Like it felt kind of weak that it was just like this. We're going to wrestle a little bit and then you're going to yield. And then if that's the case, why couldn't have that been done? Why couldn't she have beaten Din?
She couldn't beat Din.
Yeah, we don't know that.
Okay, let's stop. Let's stop the BS. There's no scenario unless Din doesn't try that Bo-Katan does not beat Din. And that's the problem. Is Bo-Katan literally says, I have to fight you and you can't just give up. You have to try. Therefore, one, Din would never even try in the first place. He doesn't dislike Bo-Katan like that. Two, we know he mopping Bo-Katan. Mopping. Not even listen, it's a clobbering.
I'm gonna say I say they fight 10 times. I could see it go 6 one way.
8-2.
No, I don't know.
8-2. It's a mopping.
I feel okay. So regardless of who wins or not, I don't know if we need to theorize about it or anything.
Din, but go ahead.
But I feel like we got robbed of a really great arc of tension that could have been there.
My face. What's going on here?
And it almost felt like it was like a, what do they call those things? I'm drawing a blank right now. Or it's like winning on a technicality. Like,
Yes,
oh,
that's
well,
what Din wanted.
technically I lost, so
Din
it's
Djarin
actually
was
her.
looking for that excuse. You know my
Yeah.
problem with it happening in this episode. Okay, my problem isn't that Din did it or that the way it happened. My problem is that why didn't you do it in episode 2?
Yeah,
That's my real problem. My problem
Yeah.
isn't that like that it was out of character, like some big buildup. That's irrelevant. Din was looking for an excuse to get rid of that thing as fast as he could. Episode 2, he had it. Just hand it to her when you got the pool, pretty much. Like,
Yeah, that I think
What
now that you
better
said
place than in the Mandalorian homeworld where he submits to her and he's like, I lost this. It's yours.
Yeah, that's how I felt too with that. I felt like I would have been. I think I would have been super cool with him giving up the saber, being like, "You saved my life," so a life for a life kind of thing, and him just handing her the saber. I would have been super cool with that. You know what I mean?
No, or even
super
just the
cool
same thing. I was defeated.
Yeah,
you defeated that with the dark saber. It's yours.
Yeah, 100%. And I think how important it was for her to have the saber. I feel like it was a poor writing, like on how they did it. You know what I mean? Like I agree 100% with Matt on this one, where it should have been after he fell into the lava pit or whatever, and he gets pulled out. He should have gave her the saber and was like, "Thanks for saving my life for a life," yada yada yada. But was it?
I'm gonna pause you real quick right there because I was hoping someone was gonna say it other than me. So again, is this James Favreau and Dave Filoni bad writing, or is this hey, Kathleen Kennedy's got her claws to make some things work?
I don't think this.
Okay.
I don't think this was
because keep in mind the director that we had of this episode puts out bangers.
Stop. Get okay.
I agree with
Bryce
that.
Dallas Howard.
Here we go.
Let's not put out a bad episode.
She put out that banger in Boba Fett. She was the only one putting out heat.
Everybody hit the brakes. All right, hit the brakes. Forget this one scenario in this one episode, okay? And if it's Jon Favreau or Kathleen Kennedy with this decision specifically, Favreau is in charge of this entire season, and it sucks, okay? There's no continuous plot. There's nothing going on with it, okay? I don't care if this one scenario is Kathleen Kennedy or not. Favreau is in charge of this entire story, and there's no story going on whatsoever, okay? I'm not cutting Favreau any kind of slack for this anymore. His heart is either not in it anymore, or he's bad at writing, and he's just gotten way worse, okay? This it might be a hot take, okay? But if Favreau's going to give us this going forward, he needs to walk away from The Mandalorian.
100%.
I don't care if Kathleen Kennedy has one or two pockets of information here and there. Favreau is in charge of the plot, and there is no plot. That's is the problem with this season.
So that's what again, conspiracy theory on. I think this is why he was so angry and was like, "Let me walk away. I don't want to be a part of this."
No, no.
I think it is.
I'm not giving him that bill. I'm not doing it.
It's very uncharacteristic of Favreau to not.
No, it's not. We have two bad Iron Mans under Favreau. Two
bad Iron Mans
under Favreau.
Are you talking about 2 and 3?
Yes, it's not out of Favreau's character to be. It's not out of Favreau's character to have poor work. It's not like it's unheard of.
I just think they were knocking it out of the park season 1, season 2. They were killing it. Season 3, it looks like they sold the rights to like Nickelodeon. You know what I mean? And was like, there you go. And they just grabbed all the extra stuff and threw it in. Like I understand the whole episode and why they were doing what they were doing, but then it's like, why is this in Mandalorian? Is he a detective now? Like,
what is going on?
The incident or the priority for them to be guns for hire to fight some droids? You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't even like, and then it was the dude from Back to the Future. You know what I mean?
So
I'm like, okay. This is the worst writing of all time, dude. It was terrible.
Okay,
that was the best part of the whole show.
When I was watching that, immediately when I saw him, I was like, "Yep, that's the bad guy. This is gonna be the guy." Like I called it. I knew it. They were gonna go on some stupid goose chase, and it was gonna be that guy. But I didn't mind him. I thought Jack Black was funny. I was like, oh man, they're just getting everyone. Okay.
And see, that's what my biggest issue was. Like, if they're so worried about getting Lizzo and Jack Black, I have no problem with them. But like, your episodes, your storyline better be on point. You know what I mean? Don't give them a star role in an episode when you have no direction, you have no story. Your fans are jumping ship because you're just like, what is going on here? You know what I mean? Like, look, Grogu got knighted for
what?
What? You know what I mean? Like, just because he's cute? You know what I mean? Like,
because he did
come
that
on,
front
dude.
flip into that lady's hand.
Yeah, he cheated.
Oh,
he
man.
helped her cheat to play the game from Alice in Wonderland.
We're gonna coast over that one because it's Grogu, but here we are.
But dude, I'm like, this is so stupid. You know what I mean? Like,
man.
If they would have made an episode with the part where the droids attacked her and he like blocked everything, you know what I mean? I would have been like, yo, I can get it. But all he did is help her cheat in a game of whatever that game was called. You know what I mean? Like,
who cares?
So listen,
this was the
Andrew,
dumbest episode.
Andrew, I need you to take your blinders off for Jon Favreau, okay, and Filoni. And listen, this is gonna sound asinine and crazy to you, okay? But Kathleen Kennedy does not have that much control, so there's no continuity episode to episode. She doesn't have it, okay? If you think she has that kind of crazy control, you're out of your mind. You can look back to Kathleen Kennedy's trilogy, okay? And she has so little control. Rian Johnson has a whole standalone film that has nothing to do with the entire plot whatsoever. So she's not in control all the time, okay? Is there bad pieces of things that she touches? Pretty much everything she's done with Star Wars so far? Yes. She touches bad products. However, this string of 6 episodes not making any sense together whatsoever is not on Kathleen Kennedy. It's not. It's on Favreau and Filoni. And if there was even one thing from episode 1 that continued on to episode 6, I would shoot them some bail. I would shoot them some bail.
Yeah.
They have nothing. They have nothing from 1 to 6 that is continuing.
That makes no sense too. He was like, we have to go to this planet, Navarro or whatever, to get this dude because he's the only one going to help me.
Yeah.
For 3 seconds, and then was just like, nah, we're straight. You know what I mean? Like, what is?
This is a pitiful fall to a great show.
Falling
it's
apart.
So sad.
We are literally watching this show fall apart.
Okay, so how many episodes are left, boys? Two. Is there any way there's a redeeming?
Yes.
Matt, I'll go first.
Yes.
Let me know what would redeem this whole season for you in these next 2 episodes. What do you think it's going to be?
Ready for it?
I'm ready for it.
2 1.5-hour episodes that clear all this BS up. That's all. That's their 1% chance they have.
That's lenient.
That's lenient, brother.
2 1.5 hour. Give me a whole endgame film in the last 2 episodes to clean all of this up, and I'll bow down to Favreau and Filoni again. But that's not going to happen.
What would the Mandalorian have to do? Like, what would Mando have to do?
I listen. I have no faith in this one. I'm about to say right now. Okay. As a matter of fact, I have so little faith.
His face is like, I have zero faith in what I'm about to say.
I have so little faith that I strongly believe these last 2 episodes are going to be the shortest episodes they ever had in any season ever.
Dog,
like
if they're less
than
okay. if they're 31 minutes, I'm not watching it.
I'm telling you, it's going to be like 40 minutes and under. What would have to happen? Okay, let's get into the weeds of it. It has to open up in the first 5 minutes with Moff Gideon doing something, okay, to get Din's attention.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's the first thing. Moff Gideon has to go on the offensive. He has to do something that is driving Din to leave somewhere or to be afraid of something. I don't know what that'd be. It's not my job to figure that out. But this is what needs to happen. Din then flees to his Mandalorian army that he now has with Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan rallies them to help Din to fight whatever army Moff Gideon has, and they go to that dome planet because they now have continuity there. They go to this dome planet that has a protected barrier over it, and they fight for an hour straight, and it ends with a cliffhanger of Din thinking he beat him again, and he didn't. The next episode, okay? Next episode. You see, it's these Star Wars fans right here. Thrawn, though, you're the reason my magnificent cousin, that Kathleen Kennedy gets away with this. I guarantee you what's going to happen is she's going to throw Thrawn in, and all the little Star Wars fanboys are going to be like, oh my gosh, Thrawn was in it. It was such a good season. No, okay? I don't want to see Thrawn in this.
They've
whatsoever.
already done too much fan servicey stuff like showing Zeb.
And he doesn't make sense in this show. There's no reason whatsoever for Thrawn to be in this show. And the reason why, because of what he just said, Ahsoka, how are you asking for Thrawn right now when Ahsoka comes out in a few months? And let me say one more thing about this whole situation with this
really going hard
with this show, okay? This show is so let me say the show. This season is so bad, okay? And not because of like, I'm not gonna lie, these episodes as standalones are fine. Okay, let me give you an example with this rhyme is, okay? Walker, Texas Ranger, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Every episode is pretty good, and the continuity is like the character himself, but not anything to do with the last episode. I'm getting some Texas Ranger vibes here, where if it was like 45 episodes in a season of just him doing cool stuff every episode, I'm okay with that. We weren't promised that, number one. Okay. 2, it's not what we expected. Now, let me get back to Ahsoka real quick with this whole situation, okay?
Not only that, hold on, before you do that, but we've also been almost trained as an audience watching The Mandalorian to expect a greater arc from start to finish.
So that's why not just a greater arc. Their very best they have to offer the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. That's what we're expecting from this show. Okay.
Almost 15, 20 years, man. This has been a great series.
Now let's look ahead. Okay, let's put our future glasses on. Okay, my hope for Ahsoka is dying. Okay, I had such high expectations for Ahsoka, and Andrew knows how much I love Ahsoka and Ezra and Sabine and Thrawn, and how I've been waiting for Ahsoka to. Andrew knows since 5, 6, 7 years ago when we talked about Ahsoka in the first place with season 7 of Clone Wars, how much I love Ahsoka and how great of a character she'd be on her own. I am terrified right now that they're just going to butcher her debut season. And they're going to butcher Sabine, and they're going to butcher Ezra eventually, and then they're going to butcher Thrawn. And thus, we are another cycle of cleaning up things that don't even need to have so much emphasis on them. It's just really simple. You have so much free range. Just make it make sense. It's not hard. It's not hard.
See, I definitely agree with Matt on all that. That's what they need to do. But for some reason, if I had to put my money on it and what's going to happen, they're going to bring Moff Gideon back. And then as soon as he comes back and we're like, he's alive, they're going to bring in Thrawn. And it's just going to be like, that was so irrelevant. You know what I mean? Like,
and it makes there's absolutely zero reason. There's no reason for Thrawn to come back. There's none right now.
There is a reason. It's a dumb reason. But there's no reason right now. The reason right now is to hype people up for Ahsoka.
No, I'm not like story-wise.
Oh, yeah, story-wise, there's absolutely no reason. But again,
100%.
Are we looking at story or are we looking at what makes money?
You know what? Actually, no. You know what makes more sense for like the Ahsoka show instead of Thrawn? How about the Mandalorian missing Sabine? How about that? How about the OG Wielder of the Darksaber we've seen before? How about that person? Get listen, I'm holding my mic right now. Let's talk passionate I am right now. Get Thrawn out of their minds and put Sabine in there, please. For the love of all things Star Wars. I am so sick of them doing this to us. They start us off so well, and they get us hooked, and then they suck. Okay? Force Awakens was pretty good. Next two movies, I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of it. Matter of fact, Andrew, can you tell me how good the Bad Batch is? Is it any good this season?
Dude, Bad Batch is good.
So what's going on?
I like Bad Batch.
So the Bad Batch is falling into the same thing where it's just all over the place. They're trying to do a story arc. And again, I feel like they're trying to make all of this mesh into something that could lead to the sequels. And it feels like they're shoving it down my throat.
It feels like Bad Batch was like cleanup. They were like, let's do season 2 to clean up some of the mess from these movies and that and this over here. And instead of just giving us content that like keeps pushing the story, I think Bad Batch is good, but it just
They're trying to connect the dots to dots that people don't care about.
Yes, that is
and
a
trying
great
to make
way
it
of putting
seem like these dots are very relevant, and we don't want it. Give us new dots.
I think we're going to be really, really disappointed with these next 2 episodes. I think they're gonna hook us again in the beginning, and then they're just gonna leave it. They're gonna do stuff that
I already almost didn't forgive him for killing Cad Bane, and now they're about to just make it worse.
I don't know if Cad Bane's really dead, but
I don't mean literally killed, Andrew. I mean they just brought him in for no reason. That's what I'm telling you.
It was stupid.
The fan service stuff is it. If they listen, I'm telling you guys right now, okay. If they bring Thrawn in any sort of form in the next 2 episodes,
and they kill him,
I might not even.
That
I might
would be
not
fire.
touch a piece of Star Wars content for 5 years. That includes
Dude,
Jedi
that
Survivor.
would be.
Can we get a signed contract of that? If they bring Thrawn in, you refuse to watch Star Wars for 5.
Where's my pen?
Yes,
dude. So if they brought Thrawn in a next episode and then killed him, the following episode would be the worst writing of all time.
They're like, hey, this works in Game of Thrones. Marvel, we'll bring a villain in, kill him off real quick, and then. Oh no!
Yeah, it's like, hey, everything we've just been building up for the last 25 years. Let's just throw that out the window.
Okay, I have a serious question though. Was there anything redeemable in this last episode?
Yes.
Yeah, the last 5 minutes, the fight, and then
was the fight even that good though?
It's all right.
So the fact that fight took place in a park down the street from my house, because that's what it looked like. You know what I mean? Like, it looks like they went to a Star Wars fan we can't see it. It's blurry.
Listen, let me just read real quick before we get on. If Thrawn comes in Mando season 3, I will actively boycott Star Wars for 5 years. Signed, Matthew Overall. Okay, it's right here. It's on documented. Like,
did you date it? You gotta date it.
Somebody needs to clip that.
Date it?
Hey,
what's the date?
I'll notarize it. That way we can make sure.
23.
23.
I can't. Is that? Yeah. Whatever. That's my signature.
We see it. We get you. I just feel like.
Boy, do I want Thrawn to come now.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Filoni right now. I just feel like they spent all their money on this episode on CGI of them getting into the city, and then we're like, shit, where are we gonna have this last fight? Let's go to the Apple Park because that's what it looks
park's like. Open, nobody's there.
I was like, come on.
To answer Nancy's question for the reading part for me, the city was pretty cool. I think it was a cool city.
I thought it was cool too.
I think it was cool. It's and I think what drove it home for me even more was that it's the only democratic city that they've shown so far where every little bit of detail comes to a vote. Even like the doc pushing the button was like a vote. So like I thought it was pretty cool to see. But other than that,
yeah, I think it was cool, different lore. But
and Jack Black and Lizzo did pretty good in their roles.
Yeah, when I heard it, I was upset. But then when I watched it, I was like, oh, they did pretty cool. But they were the best part of the episode. You know what I mean? I was like, dude, what is going on here? This is the worst writing. Your soldiers are in a park hanging out playing. What's that game with the ball that goes on that little bounce pad? Remember that game you and your brother used to play, Matt? What's it called?
Spike ball.
Mesh ball. That's literally what they were doing. You know what I mean? They're just chilling in the park.
Frisbees.
Yeah, and
it looked like they were playing frolf, like frisbee golf, man. Like,
dude, I was like, this is so stupid.
So this whole episode, I just kept on thinking, like, man, this is like a repeat of Book of Boba, like just weird stuff that's happening, and I'm not for it.
Yeah. So. I guess
I think the episode to me wasn't the crux of why I'm so angry. Okay, because I'm not gonna lie, if we look at it subjectively now, looking back on it, every episode's been this way. It's been a standalone episode. I'm not mad at the episode. I'm mad that we're 6 episodes in. There's no antagonist. There's no continuing plot point. There's nothing. Why?
So
why did they even bring Grogu back?
Here's the crazy
he does
thing.
Nothing the whole season. Nothing.
The crazy thing is, I'm pretty sure you guys haven't watched The Last of Us, right?
No, I haven't watched it.
So, very good show. There's very little that carries over from episode to episode, but it works. Like, there's an overlying theme, start to finish, it works. This is just like, here's a whole bunch of crap of content that we want to do. Throw it at the wall.
You what it is. It's Walker, Texas Ranger. It's Walker, Texas Ranger to the T. It's just the same characters doing different things every day. Have nothing to do with the last episode. It's
I feel like
really
this is
Walker
a
Texas Ranger, in my
Saturday.
opinion.
This is a Saturday morning cartoon, and it has like no story. Like, you know what I mean? It's just we're just watching it. You know what I mean? That's what
I'm sick.
Someone just like
Yeah, I mean, bottom line for me
into
is
your house.
I'm sick.
Mhm.
Sick of
Yeah,
it.
me too. 100%.
And this is look at. I know what's gonna happen. Okay, to all you little people out there, I know what's gonna come. Okay, they're gonna come out and say, "Well, you see, well, I don't attach it to the Skywalkers. This is what happens." No, you idiots. Okay, you dummies.
Who talks like
Get
that?
Anakin out of here. Get Luke out of here. I'm glad they're gone. If they were here, it'd be worse. Okay.
Luke
that
is here.
The problem is, these idiots at Star Wars, and I'm including Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau in this now because they've clearly shown that they're just dummies. Okay, they don't understand how to continue a story. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Whoever is in charge of Lucasfilms at Marvel,
Kathleen Kennedy, she's in
This
charge.
Sure. Okay. Let's say she's in charge. Here's what I'm going to say about all of them.
Whoever is the president.
Listen, whoever is in any kind of creative position at Lucasfilms at the moment needs to be fired.
Dude.
Fired. Every single one of them. I don't care if your name's Dave Filoni. I don't care if you were George Lucas himself. Get him off the board. All right. This is a disgrace. A disgrace. I'm sick.
Mm-hmm.
They've taken
Talk
a
about
character
a fall
who,
from
in
grace.
episode 1, you guys heard me. I just said literally, I said I'm just excited to see him on the screen again, and now I'm pissed. Pissed.
The juxtaposition is so good
In 6 short weeks.
It's almost comical how they've done it.
They've made a guy who loved Mando. Okay, loved him to death, and I've said lock in Pedro Pascal for the next 20 years. Let him walk. Let him walk.
Let
Yeah,
him
I'm
do
gonna
better
Last of
things.
Us.
If they're just gonna do this, let him walk, please.
So what do you? So kind of going into the Star Wars world, tomorrow starts Star Wars Celebration. Do you think they do anything with their announcements to help the Mandalorian season, or
No.
do you think they announce some stuff and that's kind of where their focus is, and they're kind of just letting Mando have that bad season?
They're going to announce movies coming out in 3 years, and then they're going to announce Ahsoka's actual release date, and that's it.
And maybe some more gameplay of
From Jedi Survivor.
Yeah,
Is that all about the money?
Yeah, because it looks like they're going to be talking about a couple different things. Young Jedi Adventures, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew.
Hopefully they announce the director for Skeleton Crew. Huh?
They're going to be talking about a couple of new games coming out. This like kind of WoW-ish looking game called Hunter Release something. That's kind of a weird MMO or so, I don't know what it is, but it looks kind of 2002 graphics. It doesn't look that great to me. But Star Wars Jedi Survivor comes out pretty soon. You guys picking that up? You guys copping that? Or are you guys going to wait for it to come out for a little bit, see what's up, and then go from there?
Andrew's buying it. Andrew's going to.
It looks like Andrew already pre-ordered it. I bet she's wearing the shirt right now.
Andrew got the 1-of-1 Super Deluxe Edition.
No, I haven't pre-ordered anything, but I probably will. I mean, if I could show my bank account, I would.
You could.
You could.
No, I'm not going to. I didn't pre-order it. Take my word for it, or don't.
So you wouldn't.
I know my truth.
So if you could, you wouldn't. That's what you're truly saying.
That's what you're trying to say. So you're not dedicated.
But
you did start that anti-Kathleen Kennedy fan club, right?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely started that guy. But yeah, so getting to the next topic to make Matt even more upset. It looks like
upset?
Yeah, it looks
I don't know
like
if
he's
that's
gonna
possible.
I think it is. The Xbox PlayStation beef saga continues, where it looks like the CMA is allowing the purchase of Activision and Blizzard to go forward. It looks like Sony is just going hard in the paint. We're saying that this is the decision is irresponsible. It is the worst thing to happen to gamers. Andrew, how do you feel on that? Do you feel like it's going to be a problem that Microsoft is picking up all these big companies, making PlayStation kind of, I don't want to say assed out, but kind of at the mercy of Microsoft and their developers?
I don't really care either way. First of all, however, my take is this is a great way to breed the lack of innovation.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Spot on with what I said. Go ahead, Andrew.
So what this is going to do is it's only, and Matt's right to an extent. Actually,
Don't tell me
he's
that too
fully
much.
right. He's fully right.
Fully.
Is there's no way that people are going to want to create. It's all going to be, hey, I have to create something to get the funding so that Microsoft picks it up. So those passion projects that we've seen that have turned into really great games, it's going to be few and far between. The only real saving grace I could potentially see is people who work with like Steam, doing small games like that, utilizing Steam. But again, that alienates a big majority of the gamer community because not everybody has a PC that can handle that kind of stuff. Again, it doesn't need to be anything powerful, but I mean, people aren't going to be able to do it on just your MacBook Pro or those kind of things.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I am an Xbox fanboy. You know what I mean? I do want Xbox to, do what they need to do to give us better product. But I do understand a little bit where PlayStation is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they're going to have about 10 years to kind of compete with Call of Duty because that's what the 10-year thing's at right now, unless they re-up with Microsoft or Activision or however it goes down. But I think PlayStation does have titles that I think if they reamp them, like they used to have Soulcom and Siphon Filter. They used to have a lot of great titles back in the PS2 days and PS3 days that I think that some of those games could be brought back that have that fan base of old OG players or players that come back. But
I think the only way that Sony really combats that is they have to double down on single player good quality content, because if Microsoft buys Activision, and I don't think that it would ever be to the point, and maybe it is, I haven't read the article, to where Call of Duty is pulled from other consoles.
Mm-hmm.
But if in a crazy universe that they did that, I think the only way that Sony survives is we have the best single player campaign based games that you can find.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, when it comes to PlayStation,
their library is very good of single player story based.
100%. 100%. I just feel like Sony's been taking L's lately that just I think they need a win sooner than later. They just took a massive L with their like VR headset. They thought it was going to be taking off, and I think the price point really just kind of priced out the average person picking it up because it's about the same price as another PS5. And then Sony is also dropping a handheld, but it's going to be not a cloud base because you can really only use it in your house and you have to have a PlayStation 5. It seems like Sony kind of went backwards, you know what I mean, in innovation of, like, it just looks like maybe they went a direction that I don't know. I don't, to be honest with you, I don't know why they would even make a handheld. You know what I mean? Or
I mean, handhelds are really popular. Obviously, the Switch has done extremely well, and you have a whole bunch of knockoff brands. The Steam Deck is doing well too.
Yeah,
but I think
but your cell phone, Xbox is killing it right now. With the PSP was fire.
Mm-hmm.
The cell phone is literally the device you need. Just I play, but when you're in your home, it works perfect. You know what I mean?
But it doesn't. We in the U.S. Yes, we're very privileged to have premium devices all the time. But you're missing out on a major market that can't handle cloud gaming because their phone device isn't capable of it. You can just sell them a console for $200. That is more cost effective than buying $1,000 phone to do that kind of thing. So I see, like, if we think the broader perspective of like gaming in general, it's more accessible that way to have a device cheaper than a phone is for gaming specifically.
Totally.
I mean, I see the appeal for it, is what I'm trying to say.
I do see the appeal if I could take it like to the park with me. You know what I mean? But the fact that I have to be in my home and on the Wi-Fi with the PlayStation, that's the only thing that's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Your TV's being used. You know what I mean? You can't access your console because everybody's watching The Mandalorian and you want to play because it's the season's been trash. I get it, but
the fact that you're putting is also, it's only a couple of days in of rumors. It's not like it's like confirmed or anything like that.
Yeah, for sure. So it's just weird. It's like, I don't know where PlayStation's going with this. You know what I mean? They do stuff way before.
Personally, I don't think the handheld realm is a stretch. I think again, you have a company who had a very successful handheld in the PSP. Yeah, they could do it right. Yeah, they could do it right. I think a lot of the time too is there's a market out there for people who are on a train or have a long commute that they want to have something. I think it's a sound business opportunity, and with the success of the Switch, the market's out there. Because again, you think about Nintendo, like Nintendo's not boasting like, hey, this is going to be 4K content that's going to blow your mind away with graphics. This is, hey, you're buying this because you can't find these characters or this story anywhere else. And so take it even a step
further, like even like their game, like MLB, for example, like the show and FIFA and 2K just this last year came ported over. Their big selling point wasn't that like it's going to be just as good as a console at home. It was like, hey, you can play these games on the go now.
Yeah, man, that's true.
Mm-hmm. So I definitely think there's a market out there for it, and I think Sony's got a shot with it, especially with how much good story-based content they've had in the past. Even if they started doing remakes, like, I mean, Nintendo's no new idea to remaking stuff. Sony has a plethora of good games that they could start doing that with. That the nostalgia factor.
And cosmetically, PlayStation's so much more superior. Their controllers feel and look better. Their consoles, give or take this last one, but most of the time their consoles are good-looking consoles. Mm-hmm. Everything looks aesthetically pleasing. So I would love to see it. I hope they put like maybe you can connect it to like a cell phone. I don't know, but I hope they get away from just being on Wi-Fi and going to like access anywhere kind of thing.
Yeah, I think we take that news with a grain of salt until they announce it.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no way that's going to happen.
Yeah,
let me pop off real quick because I've been silenced this whole time. I'm sitting here quietly. Okay,
I know he has. You've been taking notes.
Just not in my little fingers trying to talk here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
just don't go
of the
back
jury.
to Star Wars. Just don't go back to Star Wars.
No. We're acquisitions. We're going back to because one, we're talking like it's done. There's a very long way to go still for the acquisition. Mm-hmm. One, all the CMA did was turn their stance around about game development specifically. There's still a whole different topic I've talked about before in the past, which is cloud gaming. And if they deem this anti-competitive for cloud gaming, then it still dies where it is, right? They have 20 days to make a decision on that specifically. And that's for the UK. Let's remember one thing real quick before we even get to that UK CMA stuff. These are two American-based companies, and the FTC has still said no. Okay, so forget the CMA. I get it's a big turn of like, look at the support we have all of a sudden. But one, there's two fronts tapping still. One, cloud gaming is still going to be an issue, right? Because as you guys have pointed out right now, if cloud gaming is going to be the way to go, and Steven, you seem to like cloud gaming a lot, then there has to be competitiveness in cloud gaming. Otherwise, you're going to get stale market. That's the first thing. So they're going to look at that. The CMA is. But take it a step further. The CMA, all of them could clear it. If the FTC doesn't, who's in charge of both these companies, it doesn't matter in the first place. And last time I checked, the lawsuit is still going through for them too. So, and what doesn't help them either, not them being Microsoft, but Activision, that they're currently being sued for taxes as well by the U.S. government. So, like, it doesn't bode well right now for Activision to do anything but stay where they're at. Now, regardless of like who's winning the battle or whatever, I would say there's a long way to go before anybody's deemed a winner. Like, just because the CMA says game development of Call of Duty specifically won't be an issue, there's still another aspect or half to this thing, which is my biggest point really, is the lack of innovation if this happens to cloud gaming specifically. And then there's the FTC saying, well, this still isn't fair to us when you guys are American companies, so who cares what the CMA thinks? In a sense, not to say like it doesn't matter. it matters influence wise, but like,
Yeah, it
this
does.
isn't some geopolitical debate where like it's going to cause a war if it doesn't go through and FTC doesn't allow it. You know what I mean? So I just think there's a long way to go. Like this Sony, in terms of like taking a loss here, it's not a loss in my opinion. There's still plenty of way to go, and probably like another year and a half or two before it's even like all settled and done. And then even beyond that, like it just doesn't bode well for the community. And like I've already said this once: Microsoft and Nintendo and PlayStation either care about the community or they don't. And we didn't touch on it last week, but E3 was canceled, like because these three companies didn't go. So they either don't care about the community, like they said they do. How is Microsoft going to say we care about gaming community? We want the gamers to grow and be better. Therefore, if we acquire this company, we'll continue to expand gaming. And then they don't even support the biggest. It's proving my point. There's a third-party option out there, right? So let's say in this situation, E3 is Activision. And Microsoft says, I can go support E3 Activision, or I can just do my own thing. And that's my point. Like Microsoft and what Steven has said, and I think Brian or whoever was here that one weekend you wasn't here, they've said, like, why would they come to E3? They have their own thing going on. That's my point. Like, Why would they expand Activision Blizzard to any other company when they have it already? They don't need to. So the cancellation of E3 and them each having their own like showcase or whatever is proving what I'm trying to say. Like, if they have their own thing, they're going to keep it their own thing. That's a very dangerous game for a company. This isn't some small indie company. This is Activision Blizzard. Like, they've changed gaming multiple times, and it's not anything worth. Not for not like you can even say Overwatch, right? The last big game they've put out that was like not Call of Duty per se, but the last big original new title. They have a whole esport on it. They have everything for Overwatch, and that's Activision Blizzard made that. Imagine if that wasn't available on console, and you have someone like me who played PlayStation and played Overwatch and loves it to death, and now I'm not tuned in with Overwatch, or you're not pushing the boundary because there's less feedback from the other three consoles or whatever. I don't know. I don't like that the acquisition. It has nothing to do with Sony whatsoever. If Sony tried to acquire a company this big, which there isn't one this big because maybe Epic Games, then I'd have the same issue, which is like it's anti-competitive, and when you own the biggest title in the world, which Call of Duty is, I don't care what anybody says, it's still breaking records for the highest selling game of all time. That's not something to take lightly to let one console owner have control over, if that makes sense.
Not only that, but if you own it, why would you cut off 2/3 of your potential sales?
You wouldn't. Why would you do that though?
That's what I'm saying. Is I don't think that it would ever be like, Call of Duty is exclusive to Xbox.
No way. If they did it exclusive to Xbox, they would lose hundreds.
Exclusive to Microsoft, so it means PC, and that means Xbox. Now they just did a 10-year deal with Nintendo, which like how they're doing 10-year deals on something they don't own yet is kind of beyond me. But it's whatever. If they get it in place, then they have a 10-year deal with Nintendo. It's not. I'm not saying you're cutting off 2/3 of your marketplace. You're cutting off 1/3. Number one, and that 1/3, I guarantee half of them are running to buy a new console, which is all you care about. Okay, all you care about is $500 more. That makes up the difference of the cost of the acquisition itself from half the users. And then you're also banking on it. And this is the big point for me. It's not even about the console specifically. It's about cloud gaming. Like, you're gonna have hundreds of thousands, not millions of people flood over to Microsoft's cloud gaming platform. Good for Microsoft. I'm not saying like from a business point of view, it's like bad or anything like that. But now you have a $15 a month subscription fee that you're getting supplemental from PlayStation users, which then weans the interest off of PlayStation in general, which then kills the console in 20, 30, 40 years. Right? I mean, not to say not for not, but like the Sega Genesis didn't last for a reason, like because Nintendo came out with a console that just took everything over at the time. Right. It's the same kind of thing that's going to happen.
Yeah, but like
it just breeds stale development over time.
But at the same time, it's like, why should Microsoft be hindered because PlayStation's not doing anything? You know what I mean? Like, why should it's
not that PlayStation's not doing anything.
It's about the acquisition.
Microsoft is buying the biggest name out there.
The biggest name in the world for gaming development.
I get that, but I don't I don't see the issue with Microsoft buying Activision just because of the history of Activision being so. I know Microsoft is money based, like they're going after the money because, to be honest, that's if they that billion or how many billions are paying for um, Activision, they're going to make that money back in a minute. They're with the subscriptions and everything.
Mm-hmm.
In my head, why isn't PlayStation going, okay, they're picking up Activision, we gotta come with something, you know what I mean, we got to do something.
That's the point, is, well, how do you combat Activision? What's the next biggest thing that you buy that's not Activision?
No, I'm not saying buy Activision or buying something, but just getting together with your exclusive studios and putting out something, you know what I mean?
Because they're not okay. That's almost irrelevant to the point, because they could do that now without the acquisition happening in the first place. Like
but
you could see Call of Duty 10 years ago, before this everything took place, and said, you know what, we have developers that can make that thing, but they can't. Activision Blizzard is them because they make specific games really well that no one else can make. Same thing with like Bethesda, for example, or Epic Games. Like there's games that like you can clearly tell this is a Bethesda game, this is an Activision game, this is a Epic game, and no one can really do that. Like otherwise they would just do it. Like it's not like they don't have to wait for this to happen to do it.
But vice versa, Epic did the exact same thing when PUBG came out. They were like, damn, PUBG, new title, new everything, innovative. Epic was like, let's just do our own thing and make the same kind of game with our studio. And they did, and that's how Fortnite happened. And now nobody plays PUBG. There are ways. There are ways of doing it where PlayStation can go down that rabbit hole. And
no, but think about how many FPS titles have come and gone that are trying to be like Battlefield, for example, was the biggest one and doesn't even come close ever sales wise. So like 100%. Like to what you're saying, like if let's say Epic Games made their Fortnite, for example, and they did, right? And someone comes along and does better than that, it would be the one replacing it. But because no one can do better than that, no one's replaced Fortnite to this day. Like Call of Duty's had two different types of BRs came out because they can't figure out how to do it, and that's Activision Blizzard. So like to the point of what I'm trying to say is like once someone has like a winning formula, which they have with Call of Duty and Overwatch and MMOs like World of Warcraft, stuff like that, they have they have a knack for it for some reason. I don't know why or how, but they do. So no one's. It's not that they can't make a game that's similar to it. It's just not going to be as good as this one. Therefore.
Right
the
now,
consumer asks, why would I buy that game when I know what I'm going to get with Activision?
Yeah, I mean, the FPS market, it's not like it hasn't been crowded before, and nothing has overtaken Call of Duty. Like people have come along to try and make a better FPS. It's happening.
Yeah, it's very hard.
It doesn't work because it's not Call of Duty. I mean, I don't know how else to say it.
But I also think it's a really good thing that Microsoft, or even if it was Microsoft or PlayStation buying Activision, because now there's a company keeping Activision in check, because Activision is notorious for coming out with Call of Duties and letting there be so many glitches and problems and yada, 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 where that's not going to happen when they've invested this much money into the company. They're going to be like with with Minecraft.
Let the consumer determine that. Don't let an overarching company determine that. Let a lack of sales determine that. If honestly, if we were all upset about the game out of the box, which I am half the time with Call of Duty, don't get me wrong, but if I was that upset, the last 2 years I didn't buy Call of Duty till this year. MW19 before this one was the last one I purchased it. So I let my money speak for myself. And the lack of like there was a clear lack of sales in Vanguard, for example. So they shied away. They shied away from that formula and went back to the one that did the best last, which is MW19, and it blew out of the water. So like the consumer spending has a lot more power, I would say, than a guy at Microsoft saying, "I don't think this looks good enough for me, therefore let it go." Let the consumer decide what looks good and what doesn't. It's the same thing with Apple. Yeah. Like if everyone stopped buying an iPhone, I guarantee you they'd innovate immediately, but they're not going to until people stop buying.
Right.
For sure.
But the power is at least in the palm of the consumer.
With Matthew killing it with the final word, and he's got me to sway. I used to be pro Xbox and F PlayStation. And I've told you that many times that I think it's dumb. You know, Xbox, buy it if you have it, but I'm slowly coming around where I can kind of see the picture and see why people are upset. But
if it wasn't Blizzard, honestly, if it wasn't Blizzard, Epic, or Bethesda, well, Bethesda they already got. If it wasn't Blizzard or Epic, I probably wouldn't be saying most of this. But they're such big influential companies that I can't let it slide. I can't let it happen.
So that was our news segment. I know it was about 55 minutes, but there was a lot of two things that really were heavy on our mind. I'm going to pass it over to the expert of the night, and that is going to be the man who had the last word on the PlayStation Xbox beef, my buddy Matt. So tell us what's good.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to talk about the Xbox and PlayStation merger. No, I'm joking.
That was it. I'm like, all right, guys, you have a good night.
We missed it. We missed the transition.
Dang it,
So I'm debating, guys. I'm let you guys decide here for me, okay? I'm in a Mario mood today, okay? I'm in a big Mario mood, and I got to thinking about Mario. I went on my Switch today. That's how much of a Mario mood I am today. I wanted to go on Switch and play Mario, okay? Got on my Switch today, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to play the best Mario game of all time. I'm going to find Super Mario Sunshine. I'm going to find it on here. I'm going to play it right this second. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I decided to let you guys decide what we're going to do today, okay? We can do a tier list of Mario games, or we can do a tier list of Mario characters.
I'd say games.
I say games.
I think characters would be a little too easy.
And I think they correlate. Games and characters kind of go together with like a certain game is why I like that character. Yeah. So I would say game.
I'm surprised that you think Sunshine is the best game.
Oh,
I like Sunshine a lot, but
so here's the dilemma I'm gonna have right now with the tier list thing, and then it's fine. We can debate it or go through it. This like includes every Mario game ever, like every Mario Party, every Mario Kart, every like
do main title, not like sports or with the exception of let's not even put Mario Kart in there.
Okay.
Even though Mario Kart's so good, I love Mario Kart.
Gotcha. Okay, I got it then. Steven, you're muted again.
Muted.
Sorry. I just say same thing.
Let me get my my little tier list up here. Let me share my screen. Okay, gentlemen. I'm the expert, so let me
want to make it a little bit more spicy, where we take turns on putting it in there, and whatever we say locks it in.
Yeah,
but with room for debate. Okay, with room for debate.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
and I think what happens. Spicy. I think what happens. No, it's not less spicy. But I think if we lock it in, okay, we lock it in. For example,
we're locking it in.
Let's say you lock in Galaxy to C or whatever or B. I think what one of us should be able to do is say, but let me talk about Galaxy real quick and put it at A or C, and then the person that wasn't involved agrees with one or the other.
Go for it.
But that also wastes their turn, so you therefore cannot go down here and pick another one.
All right, let's run it.
Deal.
All
right, let me
deal.
You guys see this still? Is it pretty messed up right now?
It's pretty
still messed up.
There we go. Better?
Perfect. Better.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna go first since I'm the expert, of course. Let me find the best Mario of all time. Mario Sunshine, S tier, baby. Let's go. Should I explain why, or should we just
explain why? Explain why. Right. I love this game.
Super Mario Sunshine is an S tier game. Maybe not the best Mario, but S tier Mario, because it's the most different out of the box Mario to the date of when it came out. So Super Mario Sunshine, it was the open world, right? It was a great big vast open world. You have these mini tasks to go along while you're shooting the squirt gun. It wasn't your traditional hop and jump Mario. It was an actual like strategic Mario that had different things that were like, it's almost like it was a whole different game, and Nintendo said slap Mario's face on it, and that's why I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I mess with that.
I'm okay with it. I think my thoughts on Mario is I love the switcheroo on who we thought the villain was going to be, and that was so cool. Seeing Bowser at the end, like it was good. It's good. All right, Steve, you want me to go next, or you want to go?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna start with what arguably could be a controversial take. I'm hoping that it's not. The reason I think it could be controversial is because you guys might not think there's necessarily an F tier Mario game, but I sincerely do.
Oh gosh!
And I'm gonna put Super Mario 2 in F tier, because that is the worst Mario game if it's on there, I refuse to play it. I hate picking up the stupid things and throwing them. I hate going through the doors. You can never go through the doors right. The mechanics aren't right. It doesn't look good. I don't even think I've ever fully finished it because I've gotten frustrated. F tier.
F tier it is.
Not controversial.
There you go.
No.
I agree with it. It's the one I always skip.
We can't argue. We can't argue it till it's our turn. But
and I'm not going to argue that at all because I think that goes perfect. The one I am going to go with, where is a title. It's not my favorite Mario, but I see it up there and I gotta pull it. Is Mario World. The first time we see
Super Mario World.
Yeah, Super Mario World with Yoshi on it.
Oh yes. A tier.
I went A tier because that was my, as a kid, first time really playing Mario and like playing it, and it also has the introduction of Yoshi. So I think that was one of the best added ride characters to almost any video game. Was when you got Yoshi, you felt like you were on top of the world. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I put it up in A.
All right. Well, Andrew, let's talk.
Let's talk
about absolutely nothing. Okay, I'm gonna put another S tier game up there. That's this. I regard these Mario games that are like different. I regard them so highly. I gotta put another S tier up there. Super Mario Galaxy, man, that is an S tier title. That is one of the best Mario games I've ever played, and I only played it recently, by the way. But man, so different, so cool. Like traveling world to world in that game was just
amazing.
So cool. And like I said, if it's a different type of Mario game than just like the run and jump, I'm all for it. And this one not only was like that, but it was also just like damn good. Now, let me add on quick to Steve's talking about Super Mario World. Not only was Yoshi introduced, the cape was. And the flying cape was the coolest thing in the world, for the record.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
All right, I'm going to skip a turn because I think Super Mario World at A is not quite fair. I think that is an S tier game.
You're putting it up higher.
Yeah. I think
wow.
If you can think of how many cool things that they put in it, including secrets, they had secret areas, multiple ways of finishing levels that got you to different things. There was so much replayability that you could play this game constantly and not get bored of it. That's probably my second favorite next to Super Mario Galaxy in terms of Mario games.
So, Steve, I need a rebuttal why it's not S tier for you.
Yeah, I was shocked that you put it at A. Like
the S tier for me is one of those games where, and the only reason I put things in S tier is when you beat the game, you kind of want to go back and play it again. And again and again and again. Mm-hmm. I did beat Super Mario World, and I loved it. You know what I mean? After I beat the game, I thought it was cool. But it took me a minute to go back and replay it. Maybe because I was little, I don't know. But I'll play it now and again. But it's we've already beat 3D World, and I keep catching myself going back and playing that game. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Super Mario, it's a good game, and I think it's the staple for me. But it's just not S tier.
Yeah. So, as the deciding factor, taking both accounts into place, I'm siding with Steven, I think, because I think the replayability is a big deal. And it isn't just that the game is older that I don't replay it. I replay 64 and 3D World, so it's not that. It's just that when I think Mario games, my very first one is not Super Mario World, or not even the first three, I would say, or four. Therefore, it can't
way. Wow,
can't be S tier for me.
That's crazy.
So you got skipped, Andrew.
That's skipped. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay, my
skipped. It was worth it. I'm gonna skip my turn again and try to rebuttal and get it back into S tier.
You're gonna keep going, right? Oh man, I am going to do. Is it my turn?
You're up, my friend.
I am up. Man, I really wish some of the side games were on here because I'd put Luigi's Mansion. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
That was a good one too.
The one I had every single one, but it was that's just 6 rows deep. Yeah, it was never gonna happen.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I never played Galaxy 2. I never played it. But a game that I did play and it did blow my mind was Super Mario 64.
Yes.
And 64, I feel, is one of those games that everybody has to play at least one time. Every kid, if you're too young and you're watching this, I know there's only 6 or 7 people watching, but when I played 64, it was the first time was at Walmart, and I was looking up. I think I hurt my neck playing at one of those little kiosk things, and it was so mind blowing.
Mhm.
But I never owned a 64, so I always had to play it at a homie's house or my cousin's house. So I'm gonna put it as an A. I'm not gonna be. I'm not just because it's one of those staples.
Yeah.
But I can't put it as an S because I didn't have a Nintendo 64.
Okay. Well, I'm debating here if I want to take a rebuttal stance here on that, or if I want to just rank a game and let Andrew waste his turn again. I'm taking a rebuttal stance on 64. That's an S tier game, my friend. In my opinion. I'll let Andrew. Andrew, you can't just agree without me saying anything, man. Jeez. Anyways, it changed gaming. It literally changed gaming. That game changed. That I would argue that game. Nintendo was already kind of forefront, but launched even further in its emphasis of being a forefront of gaming. It was different. Again, like I said, at the time, it was very different. The open world feel. I think that this argument alone should put it in S tier, and it's that people still speedrun that game competitively to this day.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Steven, why is it not S tier?
The reason why is I'm not going to lie to you. It's personal. I know it belongs in A. I just didn't own it. You know what I mean? But I do know that you are right. People are still speedrunning that game. So if I could take it back to put it in S, I would. But I don't have the love for that game because like I said, I didn't own it.
Fair
you know
enough.
what I mean?
Andrew, what say you?
It's S tier. That's
S tier. It is. Yes, I feel like B, C's, and D's.
Question for you: is the Mario Bros. Game, is that the one that's companion with Duck Hunt?
With this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that's companion with Duck Hunt.
Yeah. Okay. I do love Duck Hunt. But I'm going to put another low Mario game in there. Another one that just never quite felt good, like a good Mario, is Mario 3. I'm going to put it not as bad. Yep. Not as bad. The raccoon was cool, but we're talking about the most boring overworld of all time.
Come on, man. Look at me, man.
I'm going to put it in E tier. I don't think it's as bad as Super Mario 2, but I would actively skip that game.
So what'd you put it at? I'm sorry.
E.
C, okay.
So E.
E? Is there no like in between for you? It's just like really good or just awful?
No, I just think it's not as bad as Super Mario 2.
Why is there even an E? I'm getting rid of E. You want it in D or F?
You can put it in D. It's not bad enough to be in Super Mario 2, but it's not good enough to be.
Delete that row. All right, there we go.
Muted,
my boy.
Every day.
I'm gonna mute your face. There are 2,900 people watching Mario World 64 right now.
Mm-hmm. I thought you were going to say
crazy.
Super Mario 3.
S tier.
Why?
All right. So is it my turn?
Yep.
You're up.
All right. I am going to be putting Super Mario 3D World, Bowser's Fury. I don't know did you guys play Bowser's Fury?
I just started it yesterday. And
it's really good.
So let me tell you how tragic this is. So I got really into this game, and then my kids lost it. So I'm just stuck.
Oh, that sucks. I was okay at the game until I found that little glitch where you can get like 1,000 lives up against that little pole. And I accidentally found it without even like YouTubing it. So now that I have like 5,000 lives, I'm like, yes, let's play this game. And I just go hard in the paint. I am going to put it as a tier game. I think it is amazing. I think they take a lot of the best. It is
fourth to the right.
Third to the last. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
I think it's one of the best because it comes with 2 games. I cosmetically think it's amazing. They took the best out of all the little Mario games and put it into one. Also, too, it's difficult for me, but yet certain parts are easy for my kids. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think it hits all kind of age groups. It's one of the solid pieces, so that's where I put it in A.
Yeah. It's perfect for everything, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at this list here, and man, we got some games in here that, I'm gonna just say it. Okay, I'm gonna get hate for it. If you're a Mario fan, I'm sorry. Odyssey is a B tier game. Okay, that's not A tier or S tier. Odyssey was cool for what it was, but the whole selling point of the hat being alive and stuff just didn't do it for me. And I think this is gonna sound crazy because I'm actually hoping for an Odyssey movie. By the way, like the second one, hoping it's Odyssey or Galaxy. But the hat, like doing all the work for you, like you throw your hat at a Goomba and you can control the Goomba. Cheesy, too easy. Therefore, not A or S tier, but good enough story and engaging enough worlds for a B tier.
I agree with that. I stand behind that one. I stand behind that a lot.
But I know people that love Mario. They put that game like high up there. So I'm sorry, but for me, it's not it. And I hope there is a movie coming out with it. For the record.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about the coins being your life either. It seems overly easy.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take Mario Bros. And I'm gonna put it in C. It's not good, not bad. Just right there in the middle. I think that's a perfect spot for it.
Yeah, that was one of the first games I ever played where I had to call like my uncle to come, like, beat a level for me. You know what I mean? Good game.
Yeah. I just don't believe in like doing the first. Like it's got to be like above the rest. Like, yeah, it's good for what it was, but there's definitely games that have improved on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pioneer, but it's like in the tier of Mario's, it's a C tier game. I agree with you there.
Yeah,
we salute it, but it's like LL Cool J. Like he was a forefather of rap, but Lil Wayne is better. That kind of thing.
For sure. Let me see. Is it my turn?
You're up, my friend.
What's the one to the right? All the way to the right.
There's Japanese one. I have no clue. I don't know.
I am going to say the last one out of all this that I've played was the Wii Super Mario Bros. That is that's one 3DS. That one. That's the last one I played, or out of this list, I don't think I played anything else. And I'm going to put that as a C because I feel like it was a good game for the Wii at the time, but it didn't do anything like. If you said put it in D or F, I would be okay with that too. The reason I'm putting it with C is because I want to say it was the first one on the Wii, and it was one of the first games you can do with the motion. So I thought that's the only reason I'm giving it a C. If not, it would be a D or an F.
I believe I'm up. I'm gonna do an easy one just because, like, I don't know if I'm thinking too much right now. If this is gonna be a C, then this is surely a C. It's the same game, just for the
pretty much.
So I'm gonna put that there right in C. I'm surprised no one's thinking of Yoshi. This is, by the way, Baby Mario.
Yeah, Yoshi Island.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
I don't think I've ever played it.
That's the Nintendo 64 version, right?
I can't change this one, but let's just say this is also Paper Mario because that's not on here. So Paper Mario, and then Yoshi Island.
Okay.
Obviously. Yeah.
Well, I am going to take. It's hard because I feel like Mario 3D Land, Mario 3D World, and Mario Super 3D World, Bowser's Fury are all very, very similar.
Very similar.
So I'm going to take Super Mario 3D World, the one on the very left, and I'm going to put it in
Paper Mario.
Oh, that's Paper Mario? Oh, okay, we changed it.
That's already up here at A.
Yeah, we just changed it.
I know, I was going to... okay, that's fine. I'll take 3D Land and put that in C as well.
C. Okay.
Yep.
Is this the first Mario Kart or Mario Kart 2?
No. The Japanese version was a little different. They had like different levels in the game. If you buy
like the lost levels or whatever.
Yeah, if you had Mario All-Stars, remember that for the Super Nintendo? And had like all of like the original Nintendos on there. This was actually on there. There was only like 3 or 4 different levels, but I really didn't play it much because it was like the same game. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
makes sense.
I got to throw something else out there because I think we're all kind of avoiding it for the exact same reason. Are we all avoiding Galaxy 2 because we never played it?
I played it. It's
Okay.
all right.
Oh, I never played it, so that's the only reason
I
I'm
never
avoiding
played
it.
it. I've heard that Galaxy 2 is better than Galaxy, but I don't know.
I've never played it.
I think Stevie.
I'm going to say, since I've never seen them, I'm going to put, I guess Galaxy 2. I'll put in C. The fact that I've never played it. Yeah, I've never played it, and
I feel like this was a Wii U. Did this come out for the Wii U?
I want to say it did.
Because I feel like that was like one of the only Nintendo consoles I've never had, and so
Wii U's the only console. I don't think I know anybody who has one.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I'm taking my opportunity to take Super Mario Bros. On the 3DS, on the DS. I'm gonna put it as a B tier because as a port over game to the DS is very good, and I'm not gonna lie, I really, really enjoyed turning to Giant Mario for the first time. Like Giant Mario was cool. Using both the bottom pad and the top screen at the same time was a great idea on their part. Not that many games didn't do it, but in the Mario sense, it was really good. And it felt like a refreshing take on Mario Brothers. Like the DS was the first like turn of like 1 to 3D look of the landscape of the continuous movement still, but also it's just like a refreshing. It made Mario modern, I would say.
Yeah, it revitalized the 2D platforming.
Right, like these top games here, like never happen if this doesn't, in my opinion.
Okay, I'm gonna do Paper Mario. It's been a long time since I've played Paper Mario, but I'm gonna throw it in B.
B?
Mm-hmm.
Why B?
I remember liking it on my first playthrough and being like, "Wow, this is a fun game, cool concept." But I haven't had any desire to go back and even find like an emulator to play it.
Yeah.
I know there's like
Switch.
a big community fan love for this game.
Yeah.
But I also think that the next one, the 1,000 Door, I think that one got better reviews and more people like that than the original.
Yeah.
It was I think the cool part for me for Paper Mario was that like it was paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it had a 3D like back and like forward and back still, so it was super like graphically it was super cool. But.
Yeah, I've watched people play it, and I thought it looked amazing. I never got to play it, but I don't think people give Paper Mario enough.
I don't think so either.
After you explaining that, I think it's one of the games I should go back and try to play. Also, Galaxy 2 was for the Wii. It came out on the Wii.
For the Wii?
Yeah, for the
Wii.
Wii.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it must have been like the end of the Wii.
Yeah, right at the end. It's like 2010. It was like right when it was dying. I'm pretty sure they ported it over to the Wii U to try to help out sales. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
so we're gonna skip this one. Just do Yoshi's Island. Where would you put?
Yeah, since I never played
Mario.
it, you guys can pick Baby Mario for me. Because
is this the Nintendo 64 Yoshi's Island?
Super Nintendo.
I don't know if I've ever played the Super Nintendo one.
I don't think I did. But since Matt looks like the only person who's played it, where are you putting it, Matt?
I'll put it in D. Really? Put it in D. I think Baby Mario's like first appearance was really cool.
Yeah.
But that was it. That was like cool to me. I think it was cool like when Yoshi died. Baby Mario really didn't. He kind of like felt like in a bubble right above him. So that was cool too. But it just didn't do anything for me like as a game. I don't know. And most of these games I'm talking about that are older, like I wasn't a kid playing this. I was like a teen to like adult. So the appreciation for it might not be there at the release time, for example. But when I played this, I liked it. It just I would put in the category as Mario 2, where I just would never go back to it because there's so many more options that are similar or different enough. You know what I mean? Now I do have an issue with this one being this low, but I don't put it on the same playing field as these other games. So I guess by default, it'd have to be that low. But nothing was cooler than
my E was right.
Getting the feather and then running and then
that was fire. And then bouncing
in the world.
But that game is so lackluster. Like even like the visuals, it's so like boring looking.
I know.
That's the one where the
I like
first,
it.
the first one with the bar. Remember the bar that went up and down?
Mhm.
Was that,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
Mario 3, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
So,
that's the one where
real
you can
quick
you run on top of the walls and that way and back down.
Before we get off the Mario hype train right now, let's throw out, each one of us throw out one side Mario game that was the one that got you.
Mhm.
I'll go first with it. The first time I love Luigi's Mansion, the Haunted Mansion, I mean, games. But dude, the first time I played Mario Party, me and my cousins
Mario
played
Party was-
for almost 11 hours straight, dude. Like we played and played and played. Mario Party was just a game changer in my house or my
Mhm.
family. It was
Yeah.
crazy. So many fights and so many. My cousin turning off the console because he was about to lose. Like, you know what I mean? Like, gosh, I love that game. But yeah. What about you, Matt? What was yours?
I mean, the obvious one's Mario Kart, right? But can we? You guys tell me yes or no.
Throw it
Are we
out there, man.
counting Smash Bros?
Smash Bros counts. I think Smash Bros counts as a Mario game.
I don't know if that's a Mario.
He's the main character.
That's like
Smash
a
Bros.
Nintendo game.
All right, so if we're not counting Smash Bros, then I'd have to say it's between Mario Kart and this is gonna sound crazy to you guys, but Mario versus Sonic Olympic Games, those are just classics.
Wow.
But I would say the obvious answer is Rainbow Road. Mario Kart is what
that's a
really took it
Not
over the
only
edge for me.
that, but battle mode, the balloons. Oh,
Yeah,
First
the
battle
balloons.
royale. The
yeah,
first
you
battle
got
royale.
block fort. Oh, that
Yeah.
was so fun.
Yeah.
So I'll say Mario Kart. Just take it off the plate for Andrew to
Yeah, that was
struggle a
fun.
little bit.
Don't struggle. Mine was going to be Mario Kart, but Luigi's Mansion all the way.
Luigi's Mansion so good.
The GameCube. I got my
Even the new one.
my GameCube with Luigi's Mansion because I think it like packaged together,
Yeah, I did.
and I was not expecting to like it. I was like, "This is weird. This isn't Mario. This isn't like." But not only is the game awesome, I love again Bowser sneaks up. He's the man pulling the strings. Awesome, similar to Super Mario Sunshine. But if you go back and you listen to the music still slaps. When you're in Mr. EGAT or Professor EGAT's lab, and it's like funky jazz music that's going on, like it slaps hard.
I think
the new one's
it
really
was-
good
it was,
too.
I think too what it did is it gave Luigi it gave Luigi character. Like he had now we know Luigi's personality, so
Right.
Yeah.
it gave a depth to a character that people really
Just
loved,
a side
but was
character.
was a
Cool,
player
cool.
too. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So it looks like we wrapped up Matt's qualified part of the show. Now let's get into the trusty game and let's see if we can end this on a good win for Khan because he
All
does
right.
not do good at these games. But let's
Okay,
check it out.
so this game, because we don't have too much time, this is actually good because I only have a few of these. But this game is called Tagline. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to take turns. We're going to start with Matt, and we're going to go over to Steven. And I'm going to read you a tagline of a video game or a console.
what's a
And you're
tagline?
gonna-
Can you clarify that?
Like a tagline is like the slogan that they use to try to sell the game.
Okay,
Like
why not
Nike's
slogan?
just do it.
So, yeah, like Nike, just do it.
So slogan.
Yeah, like
Not
a
tagline,
slogan. We can
Tagline
do
sounds cooler.
a practice round just to get you guys in the mindset of it.
Matt, do you need a practice
the
round?
tagline mindset? No,
Uh-huh.
I don't need a practice round. Give me.
You
I don't need a practice
round.
round, dude.
Okay.
We
I'm wearing
go
my
out.
Eagles
Here we go.
jersey today.
Here we go. All right. So this one's for Matt. Power changes everything.
Oh my god! Are these for sure shows, movies that we've seen before?
This is not shows or movies. This is all specific to gaming consoles or games.
So say it again.
Power changes everything.
Are we sure? I have played this game before.
Yeah, I know for a fact you've played this game.
Okay. Power changes everything. Can we get hints? Like multiplayer, single player.
I'll give you category of game.
Okay.
It's an
Okay.
FPS.
It's an FPS. Power changes everything. An FPS, and you know for sure I played it. It's not Overwatch. It is not Call of Duty. It is Battlefield. Not Battlefield.
I have no idea what this is.
I don't know. I'm just gonna. There's a lot of Call of Duty, so I'm just gonna throw it out there. Call of Duty.
Okay, you gotta be more specific than Call of
Oh,
Duty.
you see, this is what happens here. Power changes everything.
So this is funny because I remember this tagline for this specific game because it was all over the promotional stuff. So you're right in the sense it's Call of Duty. It's just a specific Call of Duty.
Infinite Warfare.
No, but that was really close. It was Advanced Warfare.
Advanced Warfare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was talking about all the Kevin Spacey character, like
Yeah.
Mm,
When he gets real
changes
close to the
everything.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the trailer. Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
that now.
Okay. Okay. So Steven, this one is yours.
Oh, that was good, Matt. You got that Call of Duty. That was close.
Yeah.
Wilt thou get the girl or play like one?
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Wilt thou get the girl or play like one?
Well, who get the girl? Snell?
Wilt, like wilt,
like
Right,
old
like
school,
W.
like
yeah,
like Shakespeare kind of stuff.
old school English.
What's the second word though?
Thou?
Oh, wilt thou get the girl?
The girl.
Yep. Or
Okay.
play like.
Or
Can I get a
play like-
hint? Can I get a
Category?
name here?
Um,
Yeah, something, Dougie.
This is, it's a single player game.
What?
I'm gonna say
Fantasy single player. We'll say that.
fantasy single player.
Mm-hmm.
say it one more time.
Wilt thou get the girl or play like one?
I'm gonna say Zelda.
Okay.
I'm throwing it out there.
You're in the right ballpark, but which Zelda?
That's
Dude,
a
I
good.
only pl-
That's
That's
crazy.
a hard one. I'm gonna say Zelda, and I'm gonna say the one where he's going after Link is going after Zelda. I've only played one Zelda game. I don't know. Breath of the Wild. I'm gonna go out and
No,
say that.
it's not Breath of the Wild.
Ocarina
is-
of Time. No.
This is Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, this is actually what they had in their Ocarina of Time commercials. There was a little subtitle that said, "Wilt thou get the girl or play like one?"
That's funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's actually a really good title because that keeps people thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And
The
we
only reason
getting
why I
close,
saw
Matt.
Ocarina of Time is because that's when he first meets Zelda
Mm-hmm.
for the very first time. So it makes the most sense for it to be that one.
Never. I've only played one of them.
Okay, we're gonna change gears. These ones are gonna be for consoles.
For consoles?
Yeah, so tagline of
Okay.
a console.
Okay.
All right, so this one's for Matt. This is kind of an easy one. You should be
Nerf
able
or
to get it.
nothing.
Touching is good.
Touching is good.
Touching is good. So it's a touchscreen console.
Mhm.
Is it a Switch?
No, this is not the Switch.
No. Then it's so are we counting handheld consoles?
Yeah,
Oh, then on the back what's the PSP that had the back touch thing? The PS Vita, no?
it's not the PS Vita.
It's not the Vita. What is it?
This is the
Um,
Nintendo DS. They were
Touching is
trying
good.
to really brand about using the stylus. Touching is good,
Oh man.
but how creepy does that come off?
Hey, side note.
especially
Everything called
in-
PictoChat in the DS.
Mm-hmm.
Elite, by the way. But go ahead.
I was gonna say Power Glove for a second. I was gonna say touching
Power
is good.
Game Sphere.
Okay, this one's good. Actually, Steven's probably not going to get this one.
No, come here. I got it. Let's go. Come here. Give me
All right, Steven, you ready?
Yeah, I'm
This
ready.
is, if you want a Saturn, your head must be in Uranus. These are so good.
The Sega Saturn.
No. No, this is like the company's dogging on the Sega Saturn.
Oh, they're dogging on it. Then
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Dreamcast.
No.
No, they're
Not
around the same
Dreamcast.
time. I thought they would
Mhm.
go after each other. If you want Saturn, go there.
How many guesses are we getting? Because I only got 2.
Well, this is 2. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. What is it?
This is PlayStation.
PlayStation came with that.
Yep, the original one. If you
Sounds
want a
very
Saturn,
edgy.
Wow.
Did you like PlayStation?
Yeah,
Yeah,
PlayStation
like
at first
weird.
was crazy edgy, dude.
Yeah,
I used to have this
yeah.
poster of like a Mosher's face, like opening his mouth wide with the PlayStation disc in it, and like PlayStation would never do that now. Like not even close.
all right, let's see.
That's crazy. I didn't think that'd be PlayStation.
So this one's for Matt.
So
Jump
consoles?
in. Yeah,
Jump in.
jump in.
Jump in. So I'm assuming the Wii. Not the Wii.
In.
Nope.
Jump in.
This was a big one for like commercials too. This is crazy.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
Jump in. It's a console, though. Yes,
This is a console. Yeah.
Jump in.
Is it an older console or a newer? Like not newer, but like
Xbox 360.
It is Xbox 360.
Is it because they connect for the first time?
No, this was just when they unveiled the Xbox 360. They had like the startup screen, and it has that, and it was always jump in. And like,
Yeah.
I
thought it was because the Kinect was first introduced in the 360.
It was, but I don't think the Kinect came out
simultaneously.
Yeah,
it's when they came out with like the little black one.
Mm-hmm.
1 point for me.
There you go, Maddie.
You are the controller.
You are the controller. Then I would say the Kinect because that's where you're the controller.
Yep.
Yeah. That's kind of
all right. I got two more.
Kickbox, Andrew. That's messed up.
Well, jump in was easy too.
Yeah, that kind of was.
Console still?
Yeah, these are all consoles still.
I don't know any of the PlayStation slogans, so if there's,
all right,
do movies or TV shows.
Because I wanted to stay with games. All right, so this one's from Matt. This is Get In or Get Out. I remember this one.
I know. I remember this too.
Is it a hand? It's not a handheld. It's not a handheld.
It's not a handheld.
Get in or get out.
Yeah.
And it's a console, yes.
It's a console, yes.
I don't know, man.
Get in or get out.
I don't know what the in stands for.
That's the point.
Have I guessed it already? Like in the past?
No, I don't think.
No, I don't
either
think
one of you has said it.
Get in or get out.
It's good when you say it like that.
Yeah. Is it recent?
I think I know which one this is. I think.
I don't think I know then. Get in or get out. 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 Get in or get out.
Had some funky commercials too.
Get in or get out.
Yeah, before you say it, let me say it.
I don't even know what that stands for.
Yeah. I do.
Yes.
I think I know pretty much. I know what it is.
Yeah, I don't think
There's terrible commercials too.
They were horrible commercials.
Is it the
Was I a child at this time?
Probably. Yeah, you would have been a small child.
I don't know. I'll throw a guess out there, but I don't know. Nintendo Wii.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good guess though. Steven?
Is it the Genesis, isn't it?
No, this is the 64. Because remember they had the N logo and it would spin. So
I thought it was the Genesis, man. That's what I thought it was.
All right, so this will be the last one. Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
Genesis is so great.
That's so stupid. Like I feel like I could be a slogan person at one of these companies. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, just imagine being at like some exec level board meeting saying, "Hey, I got the slogan. Genesis does what Nintendo don't," and everyone cackling.
And then they buy a house from that. The Genesis.
Sega Genesis.
Yes.
That was
another console.
How difficult.
That was pretty good though. I think we should explore that game again, but with like maybe even restaurants, movies, and like, you know what I mean? Like do different categories like that. Because I think there's a lot for movies we could do.
Yeah, like first thought I was gonna do is I was gonna do movies, but then I was like, nah, movies might be too easy. Let's do video games, and there's a lot of video games that didn't have. I found some really funny video games ones, but the consoles one, they just were hilarious.
Yeah, that's pretty funny though. That is pretty funny.
Which one was your guys' favorite?
The PlayStation one.
Yeah, if you want a Saturn, your head must be in your anus.
It's so like, you know what I mean? Like so. what? You know what? Wait,
Yeah,
you know what?
there's a couple other one like the PSP was, dude, get your own. Like that just sounds so like cheesy 2000s. Or the PlayStation had another one that was "You Are Not E," because they were trying to focus like on that they didn't have just like childish games.
Yeah. Dude, PlayStation back in the day had some bangers.
Yeah, that was funny. All right, well, thanks for playing my game. I think we explore this kind of game with movies, restaurants. There could be a lot of funny things to do with slogans.
Yeah, one of the PlayStation slogans used to be "Live in your world, play in ours."
Mm-hmm.
That's actually pretty cool. That's really cool. But yeah. But yeah, that was it, man. That was a great, terrible game. I'm not gonna lie, Andrew. It was a great game, but then it wasn't because
that's fine.
I did not kill that game. I feel like Matthew was foaming at the mouth for like movies and stuff, and I feel like if you would have put movies in it, I would have definitely not have done great.
Movies don't have like catchphrases usually.
Oh yeah,
TV shows are the ones I was like.
No, movies have catchphrases too.
So let's revisit that, and we'll see what's up. Well, all right, guys, we're about 6 minutes over. Let's wrap that up. Anything big coming this weekend besides Easter? Anything big? Anything to watch out for? Nothing, nada?
I don't think
movies are coming out, but
yeah, movies are coming out. So
Super Mario movie.
In the next week or two, we should be dropping some more. After me and Andrew watch Mario, we can be breaking that down a little more. But we want to say thanks for everybody who's still in the stream. Please go out and like, subscribe, follow, chat, say what's up. It helps us out in the long run. If you are not able to watch or finish the podcast, you can hear us on Apple and Spotify. We appreciate y'all. You guys have a great night. Take care of yourselves. God bless. And we are trying to leave, but I cannot find the banner. All right. God bless. We out.